1, 2, 3, 4.
You feeling okay today?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I just feel inspired. I decided to get my old trusty Gibson out of the case and do a little practicing before we go to Camp Airstream, Nashville.
I can't believe you got all the dust off of it.
Hey, listen. I mean, it's like riding a bike.
You doing a little picking this morning, are you?
Yeah. We're going to do a little picking while we're in town.
Mm-hmm. If you believe that, listener, then hold on tight. It's the Riveted.
With Chris and Gina. Fun conversation today, Gina.
I'm so looking forward to it.
We just kind of got back off of a few week break in the action of our podcast, and who better to have on as a guest than a past guest?
Yeah, they're always fun, right?
Yes,
because they're looser. They know what to expect.
Yeah,
they get our humor.
And this guy is awesome. He's a buddy of ours. He's well known in the Airstream community. He's very passionate Airstreamer. I forget I should have done my homework to find out which episode he was on. I can't remember which one it was.
Like the number?
It was early. It was
numbers.
late in 2024, but glad to have him back. Mr. Dendy Jarrett on the Riveted with Chris and Gina. Welcome.
Well, I thank you for that. Sitting here still in the chill pill,
yes,
as I call my Airstream, and love to visit with you two guys.
Yeah.
Oh, we're glad you're here.
Thank you. We thought that it would be fun to have you come on and talk about this subject that is kind of fresh and happening and in the now, right now in the Airstream community, Camp Airstream Nashville, and we know with you being a local Nashvilleian, is that what it is, or is it something? Is it Nashvilleian?
You nailed it.
Nashvilleian.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I thought you were just making that up.
No, I think that's right.
That is an official term.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, with you being a local there and kind of moving and shaking about town, you're bound to have lots and lots of fun insight about this awesome Airstream event. But before we get to that, we need to chat about something else real quick. And so
you're just going to have to dive in, babe.
I am. So, Dendy, we know that you're executive council member on the Airstream Club, and we know that there's been a lot of stuff happening in the Airstream Club of late, the past few months. And, we're proud of the fact that we're kind of like hard-hitting question. Our listeners want to get to the bottom of this stuff, all right? And
they can rely on us to ask these hard questions.
Yes. So here's the thing, okay? So, and it's a sensitive subject. I know that there's been a lot of emotion around this subject, but since we've got you on the podcast, we need to know, and our listeners want to know, all of the ins and outs, the whats, the whens, the whys, all the juicy details about this subject that's gone on in the Airstream community. And that is, why did you cut your hair?
Well, I had only had it long since about 2016.
Yeah.
Now, I had it long back when I was playing drums and touring with artists and whatnot. And I had done it as a challenge. As you know, I'd worked for Gibson guitar for some time. And the previous CEO, J.C. Curley, saw a picture of me from back in the day, and he challenged me to grow my hair out. So I did it as a challenge, and I enjoyed the long hair. It kind of became a persona, if you will, of who, people would recognize me because of my hair. But I don't know if you've kept up with climate change, but it's not getting cooler. It's getting warmer. And, the winter time, it was great, but the summer times it was getting just horrible. And I'm also the CEO now of a music education nonprofit. And while the hair was kind of cool and some of the young kids could relate to it, I also kind of felt like I was looking like an old tired rocker. And I don't mean the
Never.
kind you sit on a porch.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, no, never,
so it was just
Dendy.
an attempt to kind of clean up my image a
Okay.
little bit.
All right.
And frankly, I'm in my mid 60s now, and having it tied back a lot was causing a lot of hair loss. And
Oh,
you want to lose as little as possible
yeah.
because nature's taking care of it faster than you can keep up with
That's
it.
smart.
I
That's
can
smart.
relate to that. Yeah.
Well, all of those answers are legitimate and honest and accurate, I guess. And that's all we were looking for
Yes.
is just the
I will
truth.
also tell you the truth is my mother is, bless her, is 84. She'll kill me for saying that. And it was the one thing that she would always say, "Boy, I sure miss you when you had short hair and were kind of clean cut looking."
Oh,
And
Oh.
she hadn't got a long time on the planet, I mean,
yeah.
let's
Mm-hmm.
hope she has another 10 years or more. But just to make your mama smile, sometimes it's worth the sacrifice.
That's good.
Absolutely.
Well, I know that that was kind of like a signature style for you. Obviously, it was. I mean, you got an awesome personality, great vibe about you anyway. But the hair just added to the mix, and then. When I saw that picture hit the socials
We're like, whoa.
and I saw, I think, a comment, maybe you did or somebody, about like it was an artificial intelligence picture of you or something. And I was like, that's got to be what it is. There's no way he cut his hair off.
Well, yeah, I did, and that was not an AI picture.
Yeah.
It was
So let's
run through an AI filter,
Yeah.
just to make me look a little
Yeah.
more dewy, so to speak.
All right. So let's take it just one step deeper, and then we'll change subjects. But
Sure.
walk us through the actual event. Like, how did it go down? Did you have it professionally done? Did you just get out in the backyard with some dog clippers? Like, what happened? How did it go?
Oh no. Well, so I think if you remember back, we used to own a Nevada day spa and salon. So my wife is actually a licensed hairstylist,
Oh,
and we had been having this debate. I mean, you guys know Tab Adams. He
Yeah.
actually threatened to get out a pair of clippers he had in his trailer back at York and cut it then.
I could see him doing that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, my wife took care of it, and it was one of those situations. I'm tired of hearing you talk about it. Let's go trim it up, and then pulled it back in a ponytail. And once the ponytail was gone, there's no turning back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And was there video footage? Was there anything
No,
captured?
no video footage.
Oh,
No.
man.
Sorry.
Wow.
I
Well,
guess it could have been an epic event. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. It could have been.
Absolutely. That would have been fantastic.
Well, congratulations. I know it takes a lot of guts, especially after that much years of effort growing it out. But
Well, the bulk majority of the comments is that I look 10 years younger, and I'll take that.
oh yeah,
Oh, there you go.
yeah. That's a good positive.
Everybody's going to
from
run
that.
out and cut their hair now.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, all right. So let's talk Camp Airstream Nashville. I'm assuming here, because we've not chatted about this until this podcast here, but with your passion about the brand, your connection with corporate, everything about your connection and service to the Airstream community, you had to have your hands in this event in some form or fashion, getting it going because of being right there in your hometown, right?
Yeah. So, I've been an independent contractor or consultant, if you will, with Airstream for, I think, about 3 years now. And initially it started because they have the Airstream Foundation, and they were just looking for some guidance, some governance questions, and that sort of thing. And as we talked, it just so happened that Molly Hanson, who's the CMO there, actually served with JC Curley, who was the CEO at Gibson that I talked about back when he was the CEO at Solomon Sports. She was actually the CMO under him at Solomon Sports. And so we just connected immediately. We both knew what he looked for in leaders. And so we kind of knew what to expect of each other. And so when Camp Airstream Yellowstone was happening last year, the discussions started about maybe having multiple locations because it was actually a really good success for an inaugural year. And, Nashville seemed like a really good idea because music touches all of us in different ways. And of course, Nashville is Music City. The local club here is the Music City Airstream Club. And for, ever since the town became famous for music, it was pretty much country, Western, or country
Right.
music, but it's grown so much now. It's the Christian music capital of the world. There's a lot of rock coming out of Nashville now, and so even hard rock coming out of Nashville now. So it just made sense to do a destination that's centered around the culture of music combined with the culture of airstreaming. And so, yeah, there. So the idea when you put together something like this, I'm going to take you just on a sidebar here. So one of the great things about doing a cruise, you just show up. Your bags are put in your room for you.
Yeah.
And you don't really have to do anything. There's a schedule. You can pick what you want to do. You don't have to do stuff. You can just lounge in your port all day. That's what you want to do. And the great thing about that is that you just don't have to work at being on vacation. And, we all love going to events that we do with the Airstream Club International, especially big rallies, regional rallies, local rallies, and our international rally. But for a lot of us, that's a volunteer um, situation where we're going and we're actually there and we're enjoying, but we're also working. It's a hard job if you're volunteering for any of those things. With Nashville, Camp Airstream Nashville, or any of the Camp Airstream experiences, it's all done for you. You just show up and, it's all curated and it's all bespoke opportunities for you just to show up and relax and just be able to enjoy just you and the Airstream
Yeah.
and the
All right,
few
I'm
people
sold.
who you're hanging out with.
I'm sold.
That quick?
Yeah, that I'm ready.
Yeah.
If I can kick back and not have to worry about anything
Yeah.
and just have everything planned for me, heck yeah, I'm
Yeah.
there.
You're just there to relax and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
With Camp Airstream.
That's awesome.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm digging it.
Yeah.
And I've already been on the website and I see that there's some dates still available. So you've got me there.
Obviously, this was an inaugural year for Camp Airstream Nashville, and it will also be an inaugural year for Camp Airstream Santa Fe.
Mm-hmm.
Camp Airstream Yellowstone is returning, and the way that they program these, Camp Airstream Nashville ran from March 17th and will run through June 8th, I believe it is. Then Camp Airstream Yellowstone will be from June 23rd through about September the 14th or 15th, if memory serves me. And then Camp Airstream Santa Fe will be from September the 22nd through mid-December. I'm wanting to say the 14th of December or 15th, somewhere right in that time frame.
Well, they planned that accordingly, didn't they?
Yeah, it's covering all the whole year and different choices
so
for
then
everybody.
you could hit all three if you wanted to.
That'd be awesome.
Well, obviously you can, and I think you'll probably see as successes are realized, and we learn from one event. This worked, that didn't work, whatever. I think you'll see more and more, and I think there. And I'm kind of teasing out of the bag here without authorization, but I've been talking about doing one that's just specifically family oriented for those who have kids. Maybe focused around a theme park or that sort of thing. So, who knows that the opportunities with that are just really limitless.
Yeah.
Maybe we can borrow kids, honey, if we if it's a theme park that I want to go to.
But hey, look, you might like to go to theme parks and just be a big kid.
I do. I love it.
So Dendy, did you go to the first week at Camp Airstream Nashville? Is that the one you attended?
I did. And that was the week that Jay Cullis, who is the community manager, I think is what his official title is. He came in and did some filming. You may have seen the little interview he did with me on, what it was about. But any of the social that you've seen with the flyovers and people sitting in under the sailcloths and the star tent and whatnot, all of that was done by him during that week. And then, of course, during the normal course of the rest of the time at Camp Airstream Nashville, they have some performers who I helped curate that actually are all Gibson employees who also just happen to be fantastic musicians who I had heard and said, really, you guys really need these. But in the case of the week we were there, Jay Cullis, who is also a masterful musician and wonderful guitar player, he was our entertainment for the time we were there.
Very cool.
So now what you're talking about right there, because whenever you look at the website, it talks about it being kind of an emotional moment or emotional time, and kind of the center of it is where everyone now, and maybe I'm not speaking right here, so help me, but where everyone kind of sits around and they kind of come up with their own song for the week, or how does that work?
Oh yeah. Well, so now there's a couple of nights where there's entertainment and there's a stage that's under semi-covered.
This is there at the camp, right?
At the camp,
okay,
right?
Okay.
So there's a stage right there between two of the Airstream. One Airstream is the lounge and has, your beverages of choice in there, and also has a little area if you need office, like to print stuff, and if you need to have like a meeting and you need a little space to hold a meeting or whatever, you can do it in there. And then on the other side of the stage is the massage therapy trailer, and that's part of the experience. You have massage therapists who comes on site, and so in the middle of there is a stage. And so 2 nights during the week there's entertainment, and it's just during your happy hour. So you have somebody who's there playing for you. On the Friday night, they actually have a bespoke organization who comes in, and they help all the people who are there in attendance to craft and create a song, and they put it to music that night. They do all the lyrics and the words with the group that are there, and then they record it, and you get a copy of it before you leave.
That's a great idea.
That's awesome.
It's a fantastic experience, because you get to kind of see in real time what the creative process can look like. For those who have grown up here in Nashville, everybody knows that artists do really well in this community, but it's the songwriters who really make bank.
Yeah.
So.
And the way that process works in that town for creating a song, creating music, and how the collective experience of everybody at Camp Airstream Nashville is doing that together, and then you leave with a finished song. Right. That's awesome.
That is wonderful.
Well, it takes a lot of collaboration, a lot of creativity. It requires that you kind of work together and listen, and contribute. And then you feel like you've done something special because you really kind of birthed this song while you were there.
Mm-hmm.
So you created a special moment. And that's the kind of thing that these Camp Airstreams do. Yes, you could call ahead and do a lot of research and create your own experience coming to Nashville. You could book at the KOA there, but you're not going to get this level of bespoke treatment. Most of these tours, for instance, the Gibson factory tour, they don't do Gibson factory tours. I happen to have worked there. I knew people. We made some calls. We got some things worked out, and so you actually get to walk through the physical factory and see these things created, and you just can't do that on your own.
Well, that one line item on the agenda is worth the price of admission. I mean, that is like, that's over the top. That's
Well, look, I'll talk for a minute and pull me back in if I get too far afield here. But I worked for Gibson on and off. I had 3 tours of duty starting in 1992, and um, the thing that I loved about working there is that it's an American-made product. These things are created from scratch. And the irony is if you've ever gone to Jackson Center and taken the tour of the Airstream factory,
Mm-hmm.
the processes are very similar. They're just 2 different widgets that are being created. One you make music with and have a life experience there, and the other you get to camp and create a life experience with here. 2 iconic American brands. And the other irony is it's about 700 to 800 pair of hands that touch a Gibson guitar. Same with an Airstream. It's about 700 or 800 pair of hands that touch an
Wow.
Airstream when it's made before it comes off the assembly line. And so it's a fantastic experience for people to be able to go backstage behind the curtain and see how the sausage is made, so to speak,
Yeah.
with how these guitars are created. And one of the people who is giving the tours is Jim DeCola, who's the master luthier there. He's just one of the best humans you'll ever meet in your life. And it's just a great experience, because when you leave, you feel like you've been baptized in the Gibson world, and
I
that
bet.
you now know something very special that not many of the general public get to feel.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, they quit doing those tours years ago, right?
They did. Actually, the tours stopped in about 2010, I think.
Yeah.
There was a flood. It flooded the entire plant, and the plant had to be reworked and retooled and whatnot. And now I'm not saying they don't do tours for anybody. If you're Lenny Kravitz and you come into town and you want a tour, you're going to get a tour. But the general population
Right.
just doesn't get to do.
Well, yeah. So this is a prime opportunity for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It,
awesome.
it is, and some great folks that we worked there, getting that pulled together and making it happen. And I think it's just a really win-win for the Airstream community and for Gibson from an exposure standpoint. And then, of course, there's also a downtown tour that you get to take, and it's unbelievable. The guy who gives the tour has a master's degree in history. And I've lived here since 1992, and I found out stuff about this town that I had not just a few things, a lot of things that I had
Really?
no idea about. Yes, and even some of the places that he took us that allow you to not fall into the typical tourist trap, and get kind of away from the crowds, but still be able to see fantastic
Mhm.
talent. It was just really great. And on that tour is a stop at the Gibson Garage, which is a retail experience. And you get to go in there and see. I think they have about 700 guitars on display. All of them you can pick up and hold and play and whatnot. And then, of course, a vast array of swag,
Yep.
t-shirts and hats and whatnot. So you've been to the factory, and then you get to go to the retail experience, and then you see, oh, wow, I saw that guitar, that I saw an SG just like that being made 2 days ago.
That's
So
awesome.
it's really great.
And
I don't know what the Flying V is, but I think I would like that guitar.
okay. Well, I'm glad that you say that, honey. Yeah.
Well, ironically, so here's the interesting thing. I'm going to guess this was back to about 2008 or 9, but Epiphone did a guitar called the Air Screamer.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Google it.
Very familiar.
It's not a great looking guitar from a guitar standpoint. I'm trying to find one because I'd just love to have one hanging in my house, right? But it looks like the body of a Bambi Airstream.
Yeah.
Well, we won't
where
tell
the
you.
strings attached.
We will not share that we had one in our possession and we sold it.
Yeah, we sure did.
Oh no!
Yeah, and
Yes, and we actually, it was on our website, and we forgot that it was on there, and it was bought out from under it. We just forgot that it was on there, and
you
Oh, my
know,
goodness.
and you know where it lives now is in Franklin, Tennessee.
it does.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the person that bought it lives in Franklin, Tennessee, but not too far from Nashville. But yeah.
Well, hey, they're sought after now because they didn't. It was a limited run.
Oh
and,
yeah, yeah.
So
well, that's unique. I mean, so when you look on the Camp Airstream Nashville website, it's got a list of kind of high point agenda things and so forth. But I guess as a guest or a participant attendee, do you know all of these things are going to happen prior to arrival, or is it almost like a surprise?
it just depends, I think, on how much research you've done in advance. I mean, look, the Camp Airstream experience is not inexpensive. You can go on the website and see how much it costs, but when you factor in what you're getting, for the money, it's really so well done.
Yeah.
You'll leave wanting more. And of course, I think you guys have had Don and Michelle Paris, who are the hosts of the camp, on your podcast in the past.
We have. Yep.
Such a unique couple out of Oregon, and they hosted Camp Airstream Yellowstone last year, and they are the camp host for Camp Airstream Nashville now. Just fantastic humans, and the Camp Airstream mascot dog Mia, who's competing for my affections as my new canine girlfriends. But so I mean, just great people. And the other thing that's interesting, you might know this, it's a fun fact that Michelle is a former master chef, and she spent, I think it was 21 years, if I remember, doing the Super Bowl.
Oh wow,
she was the chef for the Super Bowl for 21 years. I
did not know that. That's awesome.
That is, what a cool gig, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's a great gig.
So the that first week that you were there, and I mean, there's as we're recording this, obviously there's been some other weeks under the belt already, but it's still going on. It's still happening. There's still some availability there. So listeners, if you're hearing this, just dive in and check it out and realize that it's another one of those epic experiences that you can add to your Airstream life.
But you better hurry because it only goes through June.
Yeah. So, I mean, you didn't go to Camp Airstream Yellowstone, right? So this was your first experience in this kind of, even though you kind of knew some of the ins and outs of what was going to happen. Like, how'd you feel about it? Like personally, what did you think? And you and your fellow attendees, what did you guys talk about the experience?
Well, I actually was involved 2 weeks before attending the opening week. I showed up and there was just literally, when I say a mountain of boxes, I mean a mountain of boxes, and every piece of furniture had to be assembled and put together, and the sailcloths had to be hung, and the star tent had to be raised, and all the signage had to be put in, and the stage built, and all of these things happened. So I kind of knew what it was going to look like. So that was really not a surprise to me. I think what was the big surprise was the reaction of the other guests when they got there. I mean, it was instant warm and fuzzies, just
that's great.
Kind of a jaw-dropping moment, if you will, because I just don't think they kind of had in their mind what this was going to be like, and to show up and it be like this really awesome-looking place like that we get to hang for the week.
Yeah.
It was just really
and not
special.
have to do anything.
Yeah.
They get to get back and relax.
I'll tell you, one of the sessions that we do, there's a restaurant chain here in Nashville, and they have a location in Ohio called Biscuit Love. And Carl and Sarah Worley own that chain, and they started that chain out of a vintage Airstream.
Oh, neat!
So they had a vintage Airstream in Franklin, Tennessee. They created all these exotic kind of dishes with biscuits, and it now has morphed into a 5-location chain, and they are actually active Airstreamers. They are members of the club. They actually are members of the TCPC Airstream only park in Crossville,
Wow.
Tennessee.
We
And
need them
they
on the
take
podcast.
and they take their Airstream to Acadia National Park every summer for 2 months, and then Carl flies back and forth, taking care of the restaurant. And so he's coming in one of the mornings and creates a brunch, shows you how to cook biscuits over the campfire, and they have a biscuit and gravy breakfast that they do, and then he does this really cool dessert breakfast biscuit afterwards, and you get to kind of help, and he teaches you how to do that. And there's also some instructions there about how to, if all you have is like a convection oven, how to kind of utilize that to do some of the prep work there. And Michelle also kind of helps with that as well, Michelle Paris. And so it's really a fun time, because you really feel like you're getting the true Southern experience.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
With the biscuit, Carl's known as the biscuit king of biscuit love, and his wife Sarah is called boss lady. So
I like that.
really fun aspect of what's happening.
Well, and that kind of thing, granted, people that maybe live fairly close proximity to Nashville, Tennessee would go to this, but I remember Don and Michelle talking about Camp Airstream Yellowstone. People from all over the country came out there to that event, traveling from as far as South Florida all the way out to Yellowstone just to come to that event. So I would imagine that some of the guests for Nashville or from other parts of the country, so they can immerse themselves into that kind of region and that, the Southern, cuisine a little bit, and just obviously everything that Nashville has to offer. But that adds to the experience, I guess, of the travel and going to this destination and then having everything curated for you.
Sure. Well, look, we the week we were there was somebody there from Virginia, Alabama, top of Mississippi, lower part of Memphis, if you will. And then the week after, there was somebody there from Connecticut, I think New York State, and of course Oregon. So
Yeah, wow.
really spread coast to coast in the representation there. So I think it's just really a special thing. And again, yes, you could come here and create your own thing, but you're just not going to get the experiences like what have been curated.
Well, I think it's a great idea what Airstream is doing at the corporate level for the community too. I mean, I know we have the club and we do our thing there, but I think that it's grand that Airstream has stepped up to embrace the community as well. Just
you describing the environment when you arrive, and that they call it the hub, right? What you built was the hub.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
So anybody that's gone to an Airstream rally before, you go to a campground or you go to a state park or you go somewhere to an Airstream rally, and for the most part, you're rallying together, but it's not what has been crafted for that collective experience of a group of Airstream owners as what you did with the hub. And that's probably why when they arrive and they get the warm and fuzzies and they just immediately feel like, oh, this is taking it to a different level.
Yeah. Well, officially what Camp Airstream is an experiential destination, right? I mean, it's there to kind of exemplify what Airstream hopes you will do with your trailer. But by them doing this, it takes all the burden of planning off of you, and you get to show up and just enjoy your Airstream in its most raw sense, if you will. And I think what they're trying to do is they really feel like that, obviously they're Airstream, so they're going to feel this way. I also do too, not because I'm a consultant with them, but because I'm a dyed in the wool, born again Airstreamer, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
they feel like you've bought the very best RV, and so now as a company they want to enable you to be able to have some of the best experiences you can with your trailer or van,
Yep.
depending on what model Airstream you have. So
That's perfect.
I think it's just a great expansion of what they're doing, because they're now moving from just creating trailers to creating some experiences. And look, as well as I do, there are three reasons why people sell an Airstream. One is to upsize or downsize.
Yeah.
The second is to buy the next best model, which might be a signature model or whatever. But the other is because they don't get used by some people who buy them with the best of intentions, and they sit and they decide, I just am not using it enough. Well, Airstream Club makes those things available for you to get, steeped into the Airstream lifestyle. Now Airstream is also making those in this more bespoke fashion for you to be able to do so as well.
Yep. No, that's awesome. One of the overwhelming themes of our podcast from the very beginning was talking about the positive experiences that come from your life from adding an Airstream to it. And that's exactly what, they're doing when they're creating these Camp Airstreams, is to give people something that's epic and to remember. And not only that they're doing it they're not doing it by themselves, they're doing it with other like-minded Airstream owners as a core collective group. And
I think you're right.
That's important.
But there's something else to that too, because there are some people who will only go out in their rigs maybe a couple of times during the summer or something, because they may still work, and maybe they're not planners. I'm not a planner. I just want to go. I don't care where I end up. I just want to go. But when you have a week's vacation or 2 weeks vacation, and you have this beautiful Airstream sitting out in the driveway, and you're like, I don't have time to plan anything. I can't do that. Mm-hmm. Well, right here you go. And yes, you could go do rallies or caravans, which is great, but maybe you don't have enough time for that. But this Camp Airstream, you can say, okay, in the spring I'm going to do this, and in the fall I can go do this one, and everything's planned. You just show up, and you get a massage. You get a massage. It's a massage.
Well, and I'm hearing fantastic things about the massage therapist that's there. Actually, another recommendation that came from some friends that run the Pilgrimage Festival recommended this massage therapist, and not only that, and so you have the massage therapist on staff there during your experience, but they also have these 2 anti-gravity chairs with these compression fittings that run from your ankles to your thighs, and you get to sit in these anti-gravity chairs, and these things massage your legs, and we actually had one of the people who was with us that runs about 20 or he bicycles about 23 miles a day, and he was having some issues with his legs, and then another one who had just recovered from a broken leg, and they both did it the first day, and they said by day 3 they were like, we don't have pain in our legs anymore.
Man.
It was like, I was like, really? So the thing actually works. It was
that is unbelievable.
So I'm looking on the website right now, and I'm telling you that they have an opening the weekend of April, or the week of April 28th through May 4th. We've already missed the one that started on Tuesday.
Okay, baby.
So
we'll talk
or on the
about
14th. Yeah. So that's this weekend. Let's do it.
Yeah. I think it sounds amazing, and we love Nashville. We go hang out there a lot in years past, so that's great. So what?
I typically don't like to read, but I had some people who were attending the week that we were there, and I asked them just for some feedback. Do you care if I read you a couple of the quotes?
Oh no, please awesome.
do. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So this one says, that wonderful feeling on a cruise when you leave your luggage at the pier and you don't worry about anything for the rest of the trip. No fees, no tipping, no figuring out what excursions to take and how to get there. Well, that's the feeling you get when you check into Camp Airstream. Just luxury and pampering and fun, and many of the details have been taken care of. The best relaxation and adventure mix you can have without having to do all the work. If there's one person in your relationship who does the majority of the trip planning, route planning, campsite booking, food prepping, and organizing, and that person is tired, take them to Camp Airstream to relax. And that was from DJ and George Watson.
That's cool.
George is the president of the Vintage Airstream Club.
That's well said.
Yeah, it is, and he's right. Like, think about it can be a part-time job doing planning and reservations and logistics for a summer of travel as a passionate Airstreamer. So, if that's the person that one person does that all the time, just let them have a reprieve and book a week for.
And what if the person doesn't do any of that? Can they have a reprieve too? Because I would really enjoy one, Chris.
I know that, honey. Yeah. That's awesome.
Let me read you another one.
Okay.
Judy Hardwick, Judy and Craig are just dear people. She said, "Wow, all caps. This is a carefully crafted upscale Airstream experience that brings people together to explore, have adventures, and relax together. Wally would be proud."
Oh, that's nice.
And I think what was interesting is they are accustomed to hosting, and so wake up in the morning and go out, and Craig would have already found his way over to the two griddles they had set up there, and would be cooking eggs even before the host got up. And I'm like, Craig, this is for you to relax. You don't have to do this. But some people just are fully servant-hearted, and that would be Craig would fall in that.
Well, that might be relaxing for Craig,
Yes, certainly. Well, and I think he finds great joy in just serving people. And
that's wonderful.
Fantastic. But that hub that's created is supposed to be like a community space, like it's a shared community space for everybody in attendance, right?
Yes. Yeah. And absolutely.
And then, like, logistically, is the where everybody's parked and their individual sites, it's all in that same general area too, so that it's all kind of a compound almost.
Well, so Camp Airstream Nashville is off of I-55, also known as Briley Parkway, which runs really adjacent to Opera Mills Mall, the Grand Ole Opry, Opryland Hotel, and then off of Music Valley Drive is where the Music City KOA is. And this is actually in the back part of Music City KOA. It is an area that's isolated from the rest of the campground. It is specific to Camp Airstream Nashville. And I should say there's right next to where the area is, down about maybe 500 yards is a dog park that's fenced there as well. So, your pets are welcome.
And are you got any plans of going back again before it's over, or did you just do that 1 week?
I actually go by and visit with the Paris's just because they're just great people to visit. They get 1 day off a week on Mondays, and because the camps run from Tuesday to Sunday. And so we've actually gotten together and gone out to dinner on their day off. So
Very
great
cool.
to go over there, and also just to kind of check and see. Since I was there setting it up, I kind of know all the touch points that might need, the sailcloths need tightening or whatever. Hey, let me just read you a couple more really quick, because I just think they're so cool. So Claire Puritan, who has been an admin from Airstream Addicts and on the Rivet Collective, and also does marketing for Vinny's, was there. She says, "I love an Airstream rally, but this was different. Camp Airstream is smaller and more curated with a different vibe. Its size made it easy to build close relationships and spend meaningful time together, which was a key part of this experience for me." Well, she really captures in a nutshell really what it is. I mean, we love our club. We love doing the things with the club, but this is just like an escape. It's just for you to come and relax and go and have fun and experience all these specially curated items and not have to worry about what are we doing for dinner. It's like it's just all taken care of you. And then one last one, I think you guys all know James Shaw. James, having been the youngest officer in the Airstream club. He also owns, I think, 14 Airstreams for a 23-year-old. That's pretty unique.
Yep.
But here's what he said. Now, he's been involved Airstreaming since he was 14. He says, Camp Airstream Nashville was the most magical event I've ever been to in the world of Airstream. It left me absolutely speechless. And when I left, I wanted more.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
that kind of tells you in a nutshell what you're getting into when you sign up to come and participate in any of the Camp Airstreams. I will tell you, so Nashville's been kind of focused around music and the music culture. Yellowstone, of course, is around the wilderness and the outdoors and all the experiences that are associated with Yellowstone. Santa Fe is a high art district, a lot of painting and pottery and that sort of thing.
Yep.
So that particular camp will be focused around the arts, not music. There will be entertainment there, but it will be highly focused more on the arts.
That's awesome. It's everyone's got its own unique aspect of exposure to enhance your life in some way or fashion.
So it's a little bit of something for everyone.
Yeah, that's
just
great.
Kind of go in. Real quick, I want to share, because I looked it up so everybody would be aware. So listener, if you would like to hear more from Dendy, his episode is 15, number 15.
Oh, on our podcast.
On our podcast, and it's called Chill Pill.
Yep.
And then if you want to hear from Don and Michelle about Camp Airstream in Yellowstone, that is episode 73, and it's called The Hub.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
That's good. I'm glad you added that, Gina, because we would have had to put that in the description otherwise. So that's good.
Well, you can still put it in the description, but if the listener's sitting there listening to us right now and they want to go listen to Dendy or Don and Michelle, they can.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I think that the quotes that you just gave from some of the attendees is awesome, because it really does give an extra level of, well, explanation is not the right word, of detail in what people are really experiencing.
Well, it's had emotion behind all of those had emotion behind them.
Yeah.
And that can touch someone in a way that, kind of like we do here on the podcast, when someone tells their story, each story has such an impact on different people in different ways. And I think that's what Dendy just did, reading these quotes here, because it just brings a touch of emotion to it.
So Dendy, I got a question for you. So you helped curate a lot of it. You helped build the hub. You helped just get lots of the experiences dialed in. So you knew what kind of was coming, but you were also an attendee. So what was your favorite part?
Wow. That is such a good question.
It is a great question.
But there is no one great answer. I love people. Now, in today's society, that's a hard statement to make, because there's a lot of reason to not like people.
Yeah.
Right? But I love people, and I just loved hanging with them. We could have just stayed there, not gone and done anything. I think the surprise for me was taking the tour. Some dear friends, Dale and Larney, who are from Nashville, were there as well with their 30-foot classic. And they've lived here almost all their lives as well. And we were comparing notes about the tour, and we were like, how could we have lived here all our life and not known these 15 things about this great city? know?
Yeah.
It was just like, wow, what we walked away with. I think for me, it just solidified what the magic of Airstream ownership can be.
Yeah.
We buy these things, and for a lot of us, it's a fairly expensive toy. And I said, previously, one of the main reasons why a person might not keep an Airstream is because they find they don't use it. What's odd to me is that you're going to spend $125 to 200 grand on an Airstream, but go try to buy a pickup truck today, or about 110 grand.
Yep.
You won't think twice about jumping in that thing every day and running across town to, grocery store, to work every day. And so you're talking about something of about the same value. And what this did was open my eyes more to the world, that I have a lot invested in my Airstream, but it allows doors to be opened that, had I not invested in it, would not otherwise be opened to me.
Yep.
And
That's true.
it really screamed to me that I need to do more with it.
Do more
yeah.
Airstreaming.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a great thing to say there, because it's like, once you start those kind of adventures, you want to do more of them. And that's a great way to put that. I like it. And yeah, you're right. I mean, it's you add that amazing, iconic vehicle to your life, and good things come from it. So that's awesome. Well, thanks for giving us a little time today and sharing some kind of insights, backstory, details about Camp Airstream Nashville. It's still going on, listener. Check out the website and check out all the Camp Airstreams going on this year, because that aspect of using your Airstream in a situation like that, or an environment like that, is going to you're going to get such positive from it. And it's
not just the Airstream experience, but the community and
all
the
of
people,
it. Yeah,
right?
Yeah, and very, very awesome stuff. And proud of you, Dendy, for instrumentally helping get that going. It's a great destination location. It's a great experience, and the
itinerary is beautiful.
Perfect.
I love it.
Yeah, you're perfect.
I was honored to be able to participate in helping to create these bespoke experiences, but more so that I was allowed to participate in its opening week, just to kind of see what it was that we had created. I know that there are still spots open for Camp Airstream Nashville. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I believe last I heard, Yellowstone was either sold out or close to being sold out. And I think tickets just went on sale for Santa Fe, so I'm sure it will fill up fast as well. So, you only live once. It's just money. They're printing it every day in Washington. Just get out and spend it.
Go do it.
Enjoy life.
You can't take it with you.
Spend some time in your Airstream with your significant other, and create some life experiences. And this is a great way to do it.
Yeah, awesome. All right,
I love it. Thank you so much, Dendy.
Yeah, thank you so much. We can't wait to see you down the road as soon as we can.
All right. Hugs, guys.
All right.
Hugs to you.
Thanks, buddy. Have a good night.
Have a great one.
See you.
Bye.
Dendy is such a nice guy and passionate Airstreamer. I just love the conversations we have with him each and every time.
That man is an asset to the Airstream community.
Absolutely.
For sure. Yeah.
Yes. And what he has done with helping with the Camp Airstream in Nashville, I can't wait to see it personally. I think it's going to be a phenomenal experience.
You saying we're going?
I'm saying we might be. Why not?
Yeah, well, hope anybody that goes to that event and any of the other Camp Airstream events, sure hope that you enjoy yourselves, and reach out to us and come on as a guest and let us hear all about it. I'm sure it'll be a fun conversation, because given the way that they describe those experiences, they're one of a kind. So awesome stuff.
I'm telling you, he had me whenever he said, you don't have to do anything. You just relax.
Yeah.
You get a massage.
I know.
Yeah.
How about
you don't
that?
have to plan anything. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Listener, hope you enjoyed this episode, got something out of it. Please check us out on all of our socials, The Riveted with Chris and Gina, on Facebook and Instagram and Patreon. And we are on YouTube, and then the podcast obviously is on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible.
We're everywhere. We're everywhere.
Yeah. And So we normally wrap up with our closing music, but here's what I think we're going to do this time. We're gonna close with a little different music.
Ooh,
and
do tell, baby.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing. So it's Music City, Nashville,
yes.
Tennessee.
Okay.
All the cool stuff with that, right? So there's a song that I like, and there's a lyric inside that song that I think fits perfectly with Camp Airstream Nashville.
Let's play it.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to sing it.
Oh. Well, you didn't say that part up front.
Yeah. So
you're going to sing it. Well, listeners, I hope by now, maybe all of you are carrying earplugs in your pocket.
No, they don't need any earplugs.
All right.
But some of you may know it. Some of you may not, but this is how we're going to wrap up this episode.
So if they know it, can they sing along too?
Yes, sing along.
All right.
Sing along in your car, in your truck, driving down the road, Airstream in tow, going off to your next adventure, maybe headed to Camp Airstream Nashville. Maybe
Who knows? Who knows what they're doing? Let them sing it.
Yeah, well, it really would only apply to Camp Airstream Nashville.
Yeah, but they can sing no matter what they're doing. They can sing the song.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
sing out loud.
All right, sing along with us, everybody. You ready? Here we go. All right, here we go. Sing along.
Let's do it.
Yeehaw!
Tap your toes, baby. Tap your toes.
Tennessee River and a mountain man, we get together every chance we can. Old Tennessee River and a mountain man, we play together in Mother Nature's band. Yeehaw! Play that fiddle, Gina. You do it. Go, go, go! Woo! Yeehaw! Woo! Tennessee River and a mountain man, we get together every chance we can.
Yeah, baby.
Old Tennessee River and a mountain man, we play together in Mother Nature's band. Tennessee River.
In the bay.
Tennessee River.
Here you go.
Yeehaw!
Woo! Yeah. Woo! Love it.
Oh, man. We'll see you next time.
Listener, we hope this made your day. We did it, baby.
We've come a long way. And I want to say goodbye because, we never say goodbye on a caravan. But we'll be seeing you down the road.